Now this agglomerative clustering, sometimes known as HAC. Okay, H stands for hierarchical agglomerative clustering. Okay, so remember, so if you see HAC, it is nothing but the agglomerative clustering algorithm. Okay, so now we know that in hierarchical clustering the clusters are formed level by level. Okay, so either you can go bottom up or top down, right? So if you go bottom up, that clustering technique is known as agglomerative clustering. Okay, so you start with bottom up. Okay, agglomerative means bottom up. So each data point will be treated as a cluster. Okay, so initially each item will be a cluster itself. Then you start merging the cluster which are closest. Okay, so if A and B are the closest cluster, you merge them. Recursively follow the same process. Okay, and what is the termination criteria? So if you get a single cluster, then you stop. So iteratively group the cluster until all objects are merged into a single cluster. Okay, so this is a bottom up approach. The reverse process is followed in divisive. Okay, so you start with one cluster and recursively split it. Okay, now one thing that I missed that day is in divisive you can call k-means algorithm. Okay, so consider I am starting with the entire cluster. Now if I want to split this one cluster into two, what I can do, I will call k-means algorithm with k equals to 2. Okay, and if I want to split this branch into two, okay, again I will make a call to k-means with k equals to 2. So internally I can make use of a k-means algorithm, okay, in case of a divisive approach. Okay, so top down approach. If I want to split the given cluster into 3, call the k-means with k equals to 3. So that is about agglomerative and divisive approach. Okay, so I have one figure here. So in intermediate state you may be having, okay, so these screenshots are taken from the Sudeshna Sarkar course. Okay, so at intermediate state you may get this clusters. Okay, now I can merge. So here what I will do, I will find the distance matrix for this intermediate state. Okay, so I have C1, C2, C3, C4. Calculate the distance between them. Okay, and then you merge the closest cluster. So in this case I think C2 and C5 are the closest one. Okay, so merge them. And if you merge these two, then you have to update the distance matrix. So these cells, the highlighted cells are merged, right? So what we will do, now we have to find the union of C2 and C5. So you have to update this column and row. Okay, so we have seen the one example, right? Okay, and for updating the distance, so you have 4 distance matrix. Either you update with the single link or complete link, centered or average link. And that day we have seen one example by using a single link, right? So today we will be seeing one example by using complete link. Okay, now there is one problem with single link approach. Okay, so now in single link what we do, so these are the two clusters that I want to merge. So in single link we find the closest pair. Okay, one element from this cluster, another from this cluster. Okay, we find that closest pair, right? And we update the distance matrix with that distance, right? In complete link we find the longest pair, okay, the farthest pair, so which is this and this point, I think, right? Okay, we find the farthest, so that is represented by max function. Okay, and we update. So if you follow the single linkage technique, so see this data samples. So as these 2 points are closest, we will merge them. Okay, then we will merge these two, then we will merge these two, and then this two, right? Then what will happen after these 4 clusters? As these 2 points are closer, then these 2 clusters will be merged, then these 2 clusters will be merged. Now what is happening? You are getting the elongated clusters. Okay, so chaining effect is happening. So when you use a single linkage, you get straggerly clusters. Okay, long and thin clusters due to the chaining effect. Okay, so have you understood the problem with single linkage? Okay, because it is finding the shortest pair, right? Okay, so if you have a chain like structure, okay, it will start grouping those chains. Okay, that is a chaining effect, and you will get a long and thin clusters. That can be avoided by using the complete linkage. Okay, so same data points, okay, but see how the clustering will happen in complete linkage. Because here you are going to update the distance matrix with the farthest distance, right? Okay, so here you get better results. Okay, so in complete linkage, it makes tighter spherical clusters that are typically preferable. Okay, but there is a problem with complete linkage also, as you are finding the farthest distance, and we know that noise and outliers lie outside of the cluster, right, towards the outskirts of the cluster. Okay, now they will have more influence. Okay, so it is sensitive to the outliers because they are far away. Getting my point? So that is a problem with complete linkage. Here that chaining effect is addressed. Okay, you don't get chaining effect in complete linkage, but it is very susceptible to the noise. Okay, so that is the problem with complete linkage, and the compromise between these two is the average linkage. You take the average. Okay, so average will have results in between single and complete, so you don't get chaining effect, and it will get less influenced by the noise. Okay, so that is all about average linkage. So let us solve one problem based on complete linkage. Okay, so that day we have solved problem using the single linkage. Okay, so let us have a quick recap of that problem. So you have 5 data points, okay, and their distance matrix is given. Okay, so distance between same point will be 0, so along the diagonal you have 0. Okay, and distances are given. Then as it is a that matrix is known as what? I forgot that name. It is a symmetric matrix, right? Okay, its transpose will be same. Okay, so you have to consider only the lower triangular matrix and find out the least distance, which is 1. Okay, so these 2 clusters U and V are the closest one. You merge them. U and V are merged. Okay, then you have to recalculate the distances. So for that particular row you have to recalculate the distances. So the linkage that we have assumed is single linkage, so you have to use this formula, minimum formula. Okay, so you update the weight, so 2 to 3, so these weights are updated. There was no change for these distances because the distance between W and X will remain unchanged. W and X is 1, W and Y is 5, X and Y is 3. Okay, so these 3 distances are updated. Okay, now in this repeat the same process, find the least distance, that is 1, merge them, that is W and X are merged. W and X are merged. Okay, and same thing, you update the weights, so that particular distance will be updated. Okay, and you will get, so if you plot that clustering, so initially you clustered U and V, okay, at a distance of 1, then you merge X and W at a distance of 1, then both these 2 clusters are merged at a distance of 2, then Y is merged at a distance of 3. This tree like structure is known as a dendrogram, right? Dendrogram. And what are the properties of dendrogram? So at the root level of a dendrogram, you have all the data points, okay, and each, so at the root complete all data points, okay, and at the leaf node you have individual data points, right? Okay, and it is drawn upward in upward direction. Okay, so that tree is known as dendrogram. Now today we'll solve the problem using complete linkage. Okay, now pay attention. The problem is find the clusters using complete link technique. Use Euclidean distance and also draw the dendrogram. Okay, it was asked for 6 marks or 8 marks in universities, various university papers. Okay, now the data given is, so 6 points are given and their coordinates are given. That's why they have mentioned use Euclidean distance. Okay, instead of giving the ready-made distance matrix, they have provided the coordinates of the points. Okay, so one step is added here. One step is extra. Okay, so these data points are given. Okay, so let us solve this problem. So pay attention. If you have not got the first problem, okay, only change is we are using max instead of this. Okay, rest of the thing will remain the same. Okay, so pay attention. Okay, but we need the algorithm of I have not written the algorithm of agglomerative, right? So algorithm of hierarchical agglomerative clustering. Okay, you know the process. Okay, but let us have the well written algorithm. So first step is okay, so initially each data point forms a cluster. Okay, so we know this, right? Each data point is treated as a cluster. Compute the distances, compute the distance matrix between. So this algorithm is assuming that the coordinates are given. That's why it is saying that compute the distance matrix. But in first problem, the distances were directly given, right? Okay, so compute the distance matrix between the clusters. Then third, repeat. So we will go in a loop and we will repeat the same step. What are the steps? So you have to find the closest pair, merge it and update the distance matrix. Okay, so repeat until, and what is the termination condition? Until only one single cluster, until only a single cluster remains. Okay, and what steps you have to update? Steps you have to repeat: merge the two closest clusters and update the distance matrix. Okay, so this is our algorithm. Okay, so let us apply this on this given samples. Okay, so my step 1 would be to find distance matrix, okay. So in distance matrix, what we have, every possible combination, right? P4, P5, P6, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6. So we know that the distance between the point itself is 0 and it is a symmetric matrix. Okay, so we will not fill the upper triangular matrix. And they have mentioned that the distance will be calculated using the Euclidean formula, right? Okay, so distance between P1 and P2 will be what? So we know the distance formula. Okay, so let me write here, distance between A, which is represented by x1 y1, and B, x2 y2, is given by square root of the difference between the x coordinate, square of that, and difference between the y coordinate and square of that, right? So this is the distance formula. Okay, so let us apply that formula for P1 and P2. Okay, so difference between the x coordinate, so that means 0.40 minus 0.22, square of that, plus difference between y coordinates, 53 minus 0.38. Okay, so I am referring this table, square of that. Okay, so that would come out to be, so I have the results 0.23. Okay, this I will place here, right? Distance between P1 and P2. Similarly, do it for all the possible combination. Okay, so the results are, I am writing the results. So this is one time activity. Then the next distance matrix we are going to find from this matrix, right? Okay, so you have to apply Euclidean distance only once. 0.23, 0.22, 0.37, 0.34, 0.23, 15, 0.20, 0.15, 0.25, 0.15, 0.28, 0.11, 0.29, 0.22, 0.39. Okay, now so initially each data point forms a cluster, compute the distance matrix. This step is done. Then merge the two closest cluster. Okay, closest means the pair which is having the least distance. So here the least distance is this one, right? So we'll be merging P3 with P6. Okay, so merge or pair, merge P3 P6, and we will be writing the distance. It will help us in drawing the dendrogram. Okay, so P1 P2 will remain as it is, P3 is merged with P6, so write it as a pair. Then P4 P5, P1 P2 P3. So I am updating my distance matrix, okay, which is step number 2, right? So P4 and P5. Now for updating, they said use complete linkage. Okay, and we know the formula, it is max in place of mean, right? So 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, now here itself you decide which values you have to update. So this row is new, right? So you have to update this, and this column is new, so this. Other things will remain as it is, so fill it quickly. So from this table itself you can fill it. From distance between P1 and P2 is 0.23. Okay, that will not change, right? Okay, so distance between P1 and P4 is 0.34, 0.23. P2 P4 0.1, sorry, P4 is 0.37. P4 is 0.37, P5 is 3. Okay, P2 P4 0.20, P2 P5 0.14, then P4 P5 is 0.29. Okay, so these four distances we have to update and using complete linkage. Okay, so first distance which I have to calculate is distance between P1 and P3 P6. So distance between P1, the distance between P1 and P3 P6, okay, it will be max between distance of every possible pair P1 P3, distance between P1 P6, right? The distance, this distance is max. P1 P3 is P1 P3 is 0.22, P1 P6 is 0.23. So you can write the procedure for one point, then you can easily fill using the table itself. Okay, so I am showing for one point the detailed procedure, but I will be filling directly here. Okay, so see the distance which came is 0.23. For this point, let us write from the table itself. Okay, so I want to find the distance. Okay, so I want to find distance between P2 and P3 P6. Okay, so what is the distance of P2 P3? P2 P3 का कितना है 0.15 और P2 P6 का कितना है 0.15 and 0.25. Max of that is 0.25. Okay, so that will fasten your process. Okay, that will speed up your process. So P4 P3 का distance 0.15. Okay, और see P4 P3 का distance 0.15 और P4 P6 का 0.22 रहेगा, right? Max of that. P5 P3 0.28 और P6 P5 0.39, so 0.39. Okay, so from this table itself you can find this table. Okay, then here find out. Okay, so then again merge the two closest cluster. The closest cluster is this one. Okay, so you merge these two, merge P2 P5 on distance this, right? So let me cross check the table. Yes, correct. Okay, so we'll be merging P2 P5. Okay, so we have P1 P2 P5 P3 P6 and P4, right? So P1 P2 P5 P3 P6 and P4. Now some distances will remain same. Okay, now this P2 P5 is, this row is introduced, so this distance you have to calculate this distance and this distance. Other things will remain as it is. Okay, so write them as it is: 0.37, 0.34 and 0.37. P1 P3 P6 का 0.23 है, ये 0.23 है. P1 P4 का डिस्टेंस 0.37 है. ओके, एंड दिस वन P3 P6 का P4 से 0.22. Okay, now for this, okay, again refer the previous, okay, and you can directly calculate from here, okay, but I will show you for first point. Okay, so you are interested in distance, finding the distance between P2 P5 and P2 P5 or P3 P6 का, right? Okay, P3 P6 is already a cluster, right? So you have to take max between distance of P2 P3 P6. ये पहले से ही cluster है, right? So then P5, so you have merge P2 P5, right? Okay, so you have P2 distance of P2 P3 P6, P2, so which is this one, P2 का distance P3 P6 है, this one, okay, और दूसरा क्या है P5 का, P5 का from P3 P6, that is 0.39, okay, which is max this one 0.39, okay, so here 0.39 will come. This distance you have to calculate. Okay, so find out the distance between P2 P4 and P5 P4, which is the maximum, you put it. So P2 का P4 से 0.20 है और P4 का P5 से है 0.29. Okay, so which is max 0.29. Okay, so 0.29 आएगा यहाँ पे. Okay, so repeat the same process. यहाँ पे 0.39 आया था, राइट? ओके, यहाँ पे कौन सा मिनिमम है, दिस वन, राइट? ओके, सो मर्ज P3 P6 with P4 at a distance of this, right? Okay, so we have P1 P2 P5 as one cluster, then P3 P6 as one cluster, and P4 is added into that, right? So 6 points are done, right? Okay, diagonal elements will be 0, P1 P2 P5, and last one is P3 P6 P4. Okay, now here also this is added, right? This is added, so you have to update this too. This one remains the same. Okay, P1 का distance ये मैंने find out नहीं किया. This is 0.34, 0.34, 23, 37, 39, 29. Okay, fine. Okay, so distance of P1 from P2 P5 will remain same, that is this one. Okay, next you have to calculate this. Okay, so it will come out to be 0.37 and 0.39. Okay, so now here the least distance is this one, so merge it. Now what you are merging, merge P1 और P2 P5 जो ऑलरेडी क्लस्टर है, इन दोनों को मर्ज कर रहे हैं एट अ डिस्टेंस ऑफ दिस वन, राइट? ओके, सो अपना क्लस्टर, सॉरी, डिस्टेंस मेट्रिक अब बनेगा P1 जो कि P2 P5 में मर्ज हो गया है. ओके, और यहाँ पे P3 P6 था जो कि P4 के साथ मर्ज हो गया है. ओके, बस 2/2 का मैट्रिक्स बनेगा. ओके, सॉरी, P1 ये 0 रहेंगे. यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट अ सिंगल वैल्यू हियर एंड दैट विल कम आउट टू बी 0.39, यानी कि फाइनल क्लस्टरिंग होगी इस डिस्टेंस पे. ठीक है, अब in order to summarize everything we will be drawing the dendrogram. Okay, so dendrogram of this clustering is, okay, so you have the distance along the y-axis. Here you have distance 0.1, देखो मैक्सिमम 0.39 है, so 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, ठीक है। और यहाँ पे अपने डेटा पॉइंट्स रहेंगे, ठीक है, डेटा पॉइंट्स यहाँ रहेंगे। डेटा पॉइंट्स आर P1 to P6। फर्स्ट मर्जिंग अपनी हुई थी, ओके, दिस इज द फर्स्ट मर्ज, P3 P6 merged at 0.11, okay, P3 P6, okay, so this is my P3, this is my P6, it is merged, okay, just ये क्या रहेगा 0.15, राइट, ओके, ये मेरा 0.11 है। सेकेंड मर्ज हुआ था P2 P5, है ना, P2 P5 एट अ डिस्टेंस ऑफ 0.14, P2 P4 14, तो 15 के थोड़ा नीचे, ओके, सो दिस इज P2 P4। नेक्स्ट मर्ज हैपेंड बिटवीन P3 P6 P4, सो यहाँ पे 5 चाहिए था। P4 डिस्टेंस कितना 0.22, ओके, सो अबाउट दिस, ओके, देन नेक्स्ट P1 is merged, okay, with P2 P5, P2 P5 ऑलरेडी merged है, राइट, 0.34 पे, 0.34 यानी कि यहाँ ये हो गया अपना P1 merged with this, and then we have the final merge at a distance of 0.39, okay, this will complete our problem, okay, so this is the final dendrogram. So I can write the distances here, 0.34, 0.11, 0.14, 0.22, okay. So any doubt? Okay, so the procedure remains the same, okay, but you have to try. Now you try this problem using single linkage and see whether you get different clustering or not, okay, and definitely you will get different clustering, okay. I can show you one example. So in that lecture they have shown one problem, okay, same problem using single linkage and complete linkage. See here, now can you tell me the meaning of this matrix? Okay, one hint I will give you, this is the similarity matrix, it is not the distance matrix, okay. So you try to understand this matrix. See here, first, okay, cluster 1 and 2, okay, they are merged, and if you see their value in the table, their value is 0.9, and along the diagonal the value is 1 instead of 0. So what is the problem here? Try to understand. As I said, this is the similarity matrix, it is not the distance matrix, okay. Similarity and distance are the opposite things, okay. Distance, when distance is high, that means similarity is low, okay. So when similarity index will vary from 0 to 1, okay. When similarity score is 1, that means they are identical points, okay. So you have to read the question very carefully. If they mention this given matrix is the similarity matrix, then you have to reverse the concept, okay. देखिए यहाँ पे क्या किया है, सिमिलैरिटी मैट्रिक्स इज गिवन, दैट्स वाई, तो हमें क्या है, क्लोजेस्ट यानी कि कौन से ज़्यादा सिमिलर है वो मर्ज करना है, राइट। तो यहाँ पे देखना पड़ेगा कि किसकी वैल्यू हाईएस्ट है। तो लोअर ट्रायंगुलर मैट्रिक्स में देखिए 0.9 वो है फर्स्ट और सेकंड डेटा पॉइंट में, दैट्स वाई दे आर मर्ज फर्स्ट, ओके, गेटिंग माई पॉइंट, ओके। तो बी केयरफुल। सो वी हैव 3 केसेस, of problems based on HAC. ओके पहले में डिस्टेंस मैट्रिक्स is given. Okay, directly distance matrix is given. Okay, just like the our first problem. Second one, coordinates will be given, coordinates are given, and third case can be similarity matrix is given. Okay, so this is the best case, okay, where you can directly start the algorithm. Okay, you select the points which are very closest. Okay, coordinates are given. So here, as we have seen, first you have to apply the Euclidean formula. Okay, from the coordinates you have to calculate the distance matrix and then follow the rest of the procedure. In similarity, okay, the concept will be opposite. Okay, so you have to find the pair whose similarity is the highest. Okay, now so on this matrix they have applied single link clustering and they have got this dendrogram. Okay, observe, this is the dendrogram. Okay, 1 2 is merged with 3. Okay, and 4 and 5 are merged, and if we apply the complete link, see the dendrogram is different. The matrix is same, the dendrogram is different. Okay, so if you use different linkage technique, you will get different. You may get in some cases you may get identical one also. Okay, so any doubt? So this completes our 6th unit. Okay, so our 2nd unit is over. 2 units are over. The last topic which is remaining from this unit is Gaussian mixture model, and I have decided to give this as self-learning topic. Okay, Gaussian mixture model, but I will give you the brief idea about Gaussian mixture model. Okay, so take an example. So take an example of your performance in the exam. Okay, so if I plot marks along the x-axis. Okay, so let's, our exam is out of 100, so maximum I can have 100 marks. Okay, then, and along the y-axis if I plot count, okay, and if 70 is the strength, I can have around 50 or 20 count. Okay, so generally if, so we have the general pattern, so most of the student falls in average. Okay, so for 60 and 70, so this is 75 marks, so I will have higher value here. Okay, so most of the students score in average. Okay, and there will be very less toppers and there will be very less fail students, right? Okay, so most of the natural phenomena follows this pattern. Okay, so if I plot a graph, okay, so this graph, okay, most of the natural phenomena follows this graph, and this is known as the normal distribution. Normal distribution, also known as or Gaussian curve or Gaussian distribution or bell-shaped curve. Okay, now in Gaussian mixture model, what we are assuming, so if I have 2-dimensional data, okay, so we have seen the split, right? So this is my cluster 1, this is my cluster 2, and this is my cluster 3, right? So here we assume that this data distribution follows the Gaussian distribution. Okay, so this is like, this is hat-like structure, right? So if my data is like that, with that assumption, what I can do, I can place that hat, okay, that hat representing this cluster, one hat for this, one hat for this, one hat for this. Okay, and as I am using the mixture of the Gaussian, this model is known as Gaussian mixture model. okay, also known as GMM, Gaussian mixture model. Okay, so this is one example. Okay, I may have distribution in this form, elongated one, okay, or I may have the spherical also, right? So here I have to place the circular hat, but here I have to place the elongated hat like this, right? This shape of the Gaussian we can control using three parameters. First one is the mu of that mu. Okay, mu is the average of that Gaussian. This is mu. Then we have the variance of that. Okay, what is the spread? कितना spread out है? Okay. Okay, कितना spread है? इसका standard deviation और variance ज़्यादा है as compared to this shape. Okay, so उसका सेंटर कहाँ पे है, उसका स्प्रेड कितना है, दैट कैन बी कंट्रोल यूजिंग द वेरिएंस, और उसका शेप कैन बी कंट्रोल यूजिंग द कोवेरेंस मैट्रिक्स. ओके, कोवेरेंस मैट्रिक्स अगर स्पेरिकल है तो वो ज़्यादा ओके, कोवेरेंस मैट्रिक्स में डायगोनल एलिमेंट अगर इलोंगेटेड है तो नियर द डायगोनल एलिमेंट यू विल हैव हायर वैल्यूज. ओके, so with this three parameter I can control the shape of the Gaussian. Okay, so in order to represent each cluster you have to define one Gaussian curve. Okay, and let me show you one example. So if you apply the Gaussian mixture model for clustering on our iris data set, okay, so we know the iris dataset has three classes. Okay, Sentosa, versicolor and virginica, right? Okay, so I can fit different Gaussians and I can check the accuracy score. Okay, so if I go with the spherical one I can get accuracy around 90%, the diagonal one, tied and full. Okay, full means all types of Gaussians are allowed. Now what are the advantages of Gaussian mixture model? Okay, so it is observed that it generalizes well. Okay, we have seen K-means algorithm and agglomerative, they are very strict clustering algorithm. Okay, so whatever the trend in the training examples they will capture it. Okay, but they will perform very poorly on the test samples, they may perform very poorly. Okay, but it is observed that this Gaussian mixture model generalizes well. Okay, and as you can see here their accuracy score is more for test samples. See, for every sample it is more. Okay, so and it handles noise very nicely because it ignores, right, जो भी samples बाहर है. Okay, this model is ignoring those samples. Okay, so that's all about Gaussian mixture model. Okay, so I will share you few links for Gaussian mixture model, go through that, okay, and try to study that. Okay, so we'll stop here, and with this we conclude that our 2 units are over. Okay.